So this is the second video in my series talking about this little book that I wrote to try to help sellers sell their house for top dollar and not leave money on the table. I'm going to put a link up here for the previous video. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and start there, and then you can work your way all the way through this series. But this is going to be the second video, and we're going to be talking about chapter number 2, which is going to be talking about home improvement and updates. Hi, my name is Jamie, and I'm a realtor here in the beautiful state of Colorado. On this channel, we talk about all things Colorado related, but we specialize in some of the real estate. We look at different cities, we look at different neighborhoods, we look at different factors affecting the local market here. If these are things that interest you, then hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification to be notified next time I post a video. Now, I get calls from people all the time asking me about what life is like here in Colorado. If that's you, if you're thinking about moving here to Colorado, then give me a call. Send me a text, shoot me an email. I'd love to talk to you, and I'd love to help answer any of the questions that you have about what life is like here in Colorado. So today we're going to be talking about chapter number 2 in the short little book of how to sell your house for top dollar. And the second chapter in this book is talking about home improvement and updates. Now, we live in an ever-changing world. Trends are changing, but then how people use houses and how people engage with one another is also changing. And so in some regard, our houses need to be changing along with it. So I'm going to be talking a lot about updates, but then I'm also going to be talking about some of the functional aspects of a house. Now, I want to say this. Now, all of these things are always going to be subject to the current location and the market. This is where a real estate agent will help you out, because he or she will be able to help you navigate what things are more important than others, where will your money go that actually gets you more money, and where will your money go that may actually not, you might not even get your money back. So I don't want to say, well, I want you to do everything in this little book. It is still subject to your location, and having a real estate partner in your pocket will also help you make these decisions. Now, when it comes to some of the functionality of a house, one of the things that we have seen change really dramatically in the last couple of years is a lot of people are working from home. Now, will this stay like this forever? Who knows? I think it probably will find its way into some kind of happy medium, but the reality is a home office is of greater value right now than it was 5 years ago. And so consider figuring out how you can make a home office, whether it's a nook in the kitchen, whether it's a bedroom and converting it to an office. Sometimes it just is a matter of staging things in such a way, and we'll talk about that in the next chapter. But sometimes just staging it to look like a home office is all buyers need to see the value of it. The other thing that may be important to some people, because gyms shut down, and so there's that question on, well, if gyms continue to shut down, or if they ever do again, will I have a place to get my workout in? You may consider putting in a home gym. Now, sometimes this works really good in like an unfinished basement, and you can just put up a few paper walls almost, not paper, but you know what I mean. You can put up some temporary walls, you can make a nice little cushioned floor, and you can turn it into a home gym fairly easily and fairly cost effective. Now, along that same vein, you may want to consider repainting some of your rooms, whether it's outside the house or inside the house. Look at the paint. Is the paint worn? Is the paint dirty? Or maybe the paint is some really vibrant colors that you love, but a lot of people won't. I encourage you to repaint some of those things. Now, you can use some variety. You can have accents, whether it's a wallpaper or actually just painting. You can do some of those things. That's fine. Just try not to go too crazy. Just remember, it's not You're not trying to make the house your house, even though it is your house. You're trying to make other people feel like it could be their house. Now, along those same lines, you may be looking at the flooring. Now, if your house is going to be staged and you're going to have furniture in it, or you're living in it while you sell it, flooring may not be as important because people are less likely to notice a stain on the carpet if a couch is also on the carpet, even if it's not covering up the stain. Sometimes people just don't notice those things when there's other points of interest in the house. But let's say if it's going to be vacant, then you really need to focus on some of the flooring. You need to keep people's eyes flowing through the house, and you don't want them to stop every time they see an imperfection. So consider changing out some flooring, and maybe not even just changing it out, maybe refinishing hardwood, or maybe even just cleaning carpet will do the trick. Either way, you want to make sure your house is in as good of condition as it possibly can be. Now, one of the most important areas of any home is the kitchen. Now, the kitchen, you have to be careful because it can also be the most expensive room to upgrade and update and repair. So you don't want to just go all out unless if you're in $1 million price point and you're in a neighborhood that they expect a super trendy kitchen and yours is really outdated and worn. Maybe you should put $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 into that kitchen to get it to where people expect it, and you'll get that money back. For the majority of people, putting $60,000, $70,000 into a kitchen, they'll probably never get that money back. But there's still things that you can do in your kitchen to help increase the value. Maybe your cabinets are really worn. Maybe getting a fresh coat of paint on them will help. Maybe just replacing your countertops will be a big selling feature. Or maybe doing a backsplash, or adding some different trim, or even what I found, just replacing some of the knobs and the pulls on your cabinetry make a huge difference and will help you be more attractive to the majority of buyers out there. Now, something that most people neglect, and that is storage. Almost inevitably, when somebody walks through a house with me and I'm showing it to them, they're looking for how much storage is in that house. Now, part of the staging process is you're going to try to declutter some of that stuff, because if you walk into a massive master closet and it's packed full of clothes and boxes, people are going to think, oh, they don't have enough storage. When that may not be true. They may just have an obsession with buying clothes. The reality is you need to make some space for it, but you also need to create some areas that are dedicated to storage. This is where an unfinished basement is really handy. Just put in some clothes hangers, or maybe put some temporary walls or something where people can see that this is a good place for storage, because it's really important to almost everybody. Now, last but certainly not least is going to be the outside of your house, primarily your curb appeal. What do we mean by that? We mean by when somebody pulls up to the driveway, are they going to look at the house and think, should we even bother going inside? Or are they going to pull up and they're like, whoa, this looks amazing. We need to look at what this house looks like inside because the outside looks awesome. That's the response you want. So you need to make sure everything's clean. The grass, if there's grass, is well clipped. You need to make sure flowers are, if it's the season for flowers, you've got flowers. You've got a warm and inviting entry into the house. All of these things are big deals, and they will help you sell your house for top dollar. Now, like I said before, I'm giving this book away for absolutely free. I'm trying to provide a resource for people. As long as I still have supplies, I'll continue to give it away. So go ahead and click the link below and you can I will ship you a physical copy of this book. If you don't want to do that, you can also go to Amazon and you can buy it there. Either way is completely fine, and I will make sure that you get your book.